Here's why they want to ban this app. I'd like you guys to really go to this woman's page. Please go to Constance Washington's page and share, like, repost this video. Her story has to get out there. It's similar to millions of other people that have been going through these state courts. Even in the federal court system, these judges are signing unlawful orders. They are violating our rights and violating constitutional and federal law by signing as just their name and title only, which to them, the designation is in vacation, meaning outside of court in session. So outside of business hours for the court. If they assign at 6 o'clock at night, at 7 p.m., there the judiciary wrote rules, either in your state or the federal civil rules, which are not law, allow them to sign in vacation because they wanted people to have, quote, access to the court. But if they don't invoke the court's jurisdiction when they sign, meaning under their name, it states judge of such and such county court, then that judgment does not have the jurisdiction of a court. It's just from a judge. And if it is only from a judge, I believe it can be challenged as a lawful nullity because the Constitution and the Judiciary Act of 1789 specifically confers the power of governmental law to a court, to the Supreme Court, but not to the judge. Not to the judge alone, I should say. It specifically says jurisdiction is lodged in a court, not in a person. The judge exercising the jurisdiction acts for the court. And here it shows a specific example. If it's just the judge's name and then it says circuit judge, it's a judge sitting as a judge and not a court. And then further down it says this does not make this a decision. It's a decision by a judge, not of a court. So I believe this is how they are effectively defrauding all of us that go through these state courts because, well, again, I've had people from 28 states send me judgments and examples of how they are signed or orders or entries, and I haven't seen one, not one, with the exception of, with the exception of one from a municipal court. That judge actually did sign as the judge of said court and stamp it with the seal of the court. So they're utilizing a clerical omission, which apparently means everything in whether or not, without stating the court, that judgment is even lawful if it has the governmental force of law and can be enforced. I personally believe it is not. And I also believe that question of federal and constitutional law must be brought to an Article 3 federal district court, because the same holds true for higher courts in the state. They are not empowered to review or reverse judgments that are not of a court. So there is no remedy at law for Constance, and if her judgment stealing her land is signed by this visiting judge, just as visiting judge, or if they call him presiding judge, however his title is presented under his signature, if it doesn't say he's the judicial officer on the county court that has the jurisdiction over her land, then that judgment has no valid force of governmental law, in my opinion, based on what I've just shown you. Especially, just think about it logically. Clearly, a judge who's maybe an officer on another county court is not the elected official on her county's court. So I'm guessing her judgment, stealing her property, is not signed. He cannot sign it as an officer of her county court. That's not where he serves. So please, let's go to her page and circulate her story, repost her videos, download them if you have to, and then upload them to your own page, because it's just that important that we all inform each other of the lawful difference in how these judgments are being entered. That's what I believe, anyway.